Alabama has shifted their entire focus, and I'm not saying full focus, but a huge percentage of their focus has been shifted to Desmond Claude. And Desmond Claude is the 6'6" point guard from USC. He is a guy that Alabama has been after here recently. He had a visit lined up before the portal closed, before the dead period started. That was from May the 21st through June the 1st. Obviously, that is coming to a close. From what we have most recently heard from a news front, is it sounds like they are working on getting a visit set up around June 1st. So, as soon as that deadline happens, June 1st, it sounds like Alabama will potentially get that visit settled with him. From what I have heard, it sounds like it potentially was an NIL dispute, right? There was a situation where Alabama said, Alabama had agreed to the NIL terms. Then his camp came back and changed the NIL terms, and Alabama was not okay with the changed terms, so we canceled the visit. It sounds like that has been resolved. Whatever it is that's going on, it sounds like it's been resolved. I'm not sure how much money he's going to be getting. I don't know what we've offered him. That's, none of my business. If I know about it, I will talk about it if I feel necessary. But, let's just say that from everything that I've heard, because of LeBaron Philon obviously staying in the draft and others, Alabama has enough money to get a star player. A guy like Desmond Claude that averaged, 17, 18 points a game in the Big Ten. Alabama has the benefit to be able to get somebody like him. We have the NIL available. We obviously have the roster spot. We obviously have the ability in, giving him the amount of shots that he would need. Because if you're bringing in a star player, it's not just the playing time or the NIL. It's also the amount of shots to kind of go around. And that's something that I think we definitely have. Also, we have a role that he can be a really good creator in, because we have so much shot spacing that the fact that he's not an elite three-point shooter does not hurt us. Some other teams, Desmond Claude going to them potentially would hurt them, because, you're often looking to your guards to be your main shooters. All of your wings, forwards, etc. may not be able to shoot the three. But currently in Alabama's starting lineup, we have shooters at all four other positions, right? So if Desmond Claude comes in and starts at either the 1 or the 3, that's the two places where I would kind of assume. I think the lineup's the exact same, but I think he could start at either the 1 or the 3. Either one he starts at, I believe that he ends up being a really, really good player for us, and the spacing that we have will open the floor and allow him to get to the lane where he is phenomenal. He also has the 6'6" size that I think is really, really big for our team. It would help us from a defensive standpoint, as well as his finishing around the rim. Your ability to get shot blocked when you're a lot taller is obviously much better. It's not something that you have as big of an issue with, and that's something that Alabama has struggled with in years past because of how much we want to go to the rim. We definitely get our shot blocked more than some other teams. Desmond Claude also has played with Taylor Bowen before, and also with Preston Murphy before at Expressions. So that is kind of the link that you're looking at with these players. You're looking at Bowen having played with him before. They commented on each other's Instagram posts when the visit was originally announced for the pre-dead period visit. Obviously, it sounds like Alabama has been able to rectify whatever situation's going on. Either Alabama agreed to terms or his camp agreed to terms. From everything that I'm hearing and what Tipton most recently put out, as well as some others, it sounds like Alabama and Gonzaga are the two people that are after him the most currently. I know Alabama, Gonzaga, and Washington were on his most recent list. But from what we've heard, Alabama and Gonzaga are on the most recent list, with Alabama making the strongest push. So I really do think, as always, if we get him on campus, and that's a big if, right? There's two things when you look at Alabama basketball visitors. Did we get them on campus, and did they have the green light to commit while on campus? I think in the event of Keontae Jones, we got him on campus, but he did not have the green light to commit, because I think we were still trying to figure out what all was going on regarding the potential legal situation. And now that we're aware, I think that's why we've moved on. The other one is when we had guys visiting before a guy like Mohamed Diabate leaves, right? Alabama's name is linked with some other people. We have some people visit, but again, they're not eligible to commit because we're still trying to hold out either for our guys or for some other guys in the portal. So, that's often what you see. But when Alabama gives a guy the green light to visit, gets the guy to visit and he has a green light to commit while on the visit, that typically goes very, very successfully. I'm not aware of a guy in recent memory that we got on the visit from a transfer portal perspective and did not close that visit, right? That he had the green light to commit, right? There have been a couple, obviously, that did not commit, but from what I've been told, those people did not have the green light to commit on the visit. They were on the visit to be an option for us and for us to have some discussions. But whether it was fit, whether it was price, whether it was whatever, we did not give them the green light to commit while on that visit. And that's why you did not see a commitment on that visit. So that's what I've heard. That's what I'm hearing. I will obviously update you guys as anything additional comes up. I do think, obviously, with the Claude stuff, it may move very quickly. With the period closing on the 1st, Alabama will probably try to get him on campus as quickly as humanly possible. So if they can, then obviously Alabama will get him on campus and then be able to kind of get summer workouts rolling. Obviously the longer this rolls in the summer, the longer he potentially isn't going to be able to be in summer workouts, isn't going to be able to roll into the system, etc. With a guy that's in the transfer portal, so he's played a lot of college basketball before, that's not as big of a concern. But from a conditioning standpoint, from one of our guards, we definitely need him in the system as quickly as possible to kind of get used to the way that we play basketball. I will be very, very interested to see how Alabama closes out the roster. I do think that Claude is the missing piece. I think that Claude is what we've been looking for. He gives us the guard/wing. He gives us the size, and he gives us a real playmaker that can do a lot of things, as well as set up most of his teammates for shots. His assist rate's really solid, and I think that he's somebody that will really get his team flourished and get the team going. So as of this current moment, my expectation is that we land Desmond Claude and then Alabama is done. I kind of still would love if we could add another smaller player, potential role player, but I just don't know if that's realistic. I will see if I hear anything else. Obviously, we're also going to bring on Jordan Harper later on this summer to talk about the basketball roster. May wait till Desmond Claude commits, or till this situation is over, if he commits, etc., and then bring him on and have him talk about the roster and see if he thinks we're going to add anybody or what his thoughts are on the roster. So if you are interested in having those discussions or checking out those videos that are going to be upcoming, please subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on Apple, Spotify, etc., please, like, review, share. It all helps me out. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and I will catch you in the next episode. Peace.